All right, Shalom. First off, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. I want to give double honors to my apostles and elders of GMS who do rule well. I want to say Shalom to all you Akim out there pushing this truth across the four winds so we can seal the elect and make it to the kingdom. This video here is a video by FOPE. I don't know if you guys ever, I don't know if Sincere Akim and Nakwath have heard about the Israelite group called FOPE, all right? And I won't really too much go into their name, but this is just a video that was sent to the brothers, here, all of us brothers here in the GMS Fortress, GMS Wisconsin camp, by the head of our camp, Atazawam Allah, okay? And he basically just sent this video. It's pretty much like 2 hours, probably a little over 2 hours video about the group, the Israelite group FOPE, pretty much going into well, let me read the title. I got a screenshot here because I didn't want to play the video, probably get flagged or anything. So just playing it safe. But the name of the video that's on the screen here is called FOPE. The 10 tribes didn't come to America on ships down the Euphrates. Now, right off bat, I'm pretty sure brothers know what scripture I'm about to go to, but this is just for edification's sake, because there's probably some some of you sincere Akim and Akwath, just getting into the truth and just coming across the truth. You might have came across this video and got the wrong idea and the wrong impression of it's all for truth's sake. At the end of the day, it's all for truth's sake, man. And that's what we were put here to do. That's what we were called into this truth to do, man. Was to get was to give the world, all right, the truth, all right. So, Lord willing, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, you sincere Akim and Akwath are edified through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and the sheep are fed. All right, I don't want to make this long. I just want to go right into it. So, like I said, the title of this video here by FOPE is called "The 10 Tribes Didn't Come to America on Ships Down the Euphrates." Okay. Which is a lie off top. I didn't really watch too much of the video. I watched maybe about 30 minutes. Yeah, and it's pretty much what you see on the screen here is pretty much the beginning of the video. I just took a screenshot, and basically in the beginning of the video, I might leave a link in the description box of this video so you guys can check it out. For those that haven't, but in the beginning of the video, they kind of went on like a little rant. It was a video of them showing, you see out here on Google Earth, okay, which is pretty much the latest map or world map of the world or whatever, and they pretty much just showed a video of the maps going into the description here, as you see on the screen, of how the Euphrates River looks now, and pretty much, just riding off of that, the 10 tribes, okay, the northern tribes, all right, did not travel, couldn't have traveled up the or down the Euphrates River, okay. Which is BS, and I'm going to prove that. Also, I'm going to go into another point that the brother, the head of our camp here in Wisconsin, the brother Atazawam, made a point also that FOPE doesn't believe that. So like if FOPE believes that all 12 tribes are Judites, okay? They don't believe that the so-called Mexicans, so-called Latinos, so-called Native and Seminole Indians, and etc. are the southern tribes of Israel. Okay, so like the northern tribes, Salakia, they don't believe that They don't believe that they are the northern tribes of Israel, which we're gonna dive into that too. So I don't want to talk too much. Let me just get into the scriptures about the Euphrates River. All right. This is the book of Second Esdras. All right. And we're gonna get into Christopher Columbus as well. You know, he was a stewardess, as the brothers say, a stewardess in the scriptures, especially the Apocrypha. Okay, and that's how he came over here and pretty much, raped, robbed, and murdered the northern tribes. All right, that came over here. You know, in by traveling through the Euphrates River. Okay, this is the book of Second Esdras, chapter 13, verse 40. Okay, Salakia, verse 40. It says those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners, and just to give brothers Salakia, I don't mean to stop in the middle of the scripture, but just to give brothers an idea of what's going on right here in this chapter and in this time period, okay? Because this is actual history as well. You know, this actually happened. This is actually documented in history, okay? You see, because the scriptures are real, okay? Past, present, and future. All right. And what was going on here in this chapter, or around this time in this chapter, all right, is that the 12 tribes of Israel, okay, were in this was the time of the Assyrian captivity, okay, and the 10 tribes, all right, which is going to go into, I'm going to read it, okay, pretty much decided to just travel to the unknown world, okay, as they call it, okay, all right, the place where man never dwelt, okay, all right, which is what they call it, but you know we're gonna disprove that as well, all right, because the Israelites dwelt there, all right. What Salaka, they didn't dwelt there, they didn't dwell or live there at that time, all right, with the scripture that I'm gonna bring out, all right, with King Solomon, okay, but you know King Solomon and the Israelites, you know, did travel to this land, all right, which is called America, all right, you know, from time to time, all right, to collect certain items, all right. Well, we're gonna get into that later, okay. This is the book of Second Esdras, chapter 13, verse 40. It says, "Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land, all right, the land of Israel, all right, in the time of Hosea, okay, the king, all right. It says whom Salamazar, all right, the king of Israel, the king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters. All right, and who was that? He, Yahweh. Okay, and he carried them over the waters. All right, what's Salakia? He carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. All right. Verse 41, it says, but they took this counsel among themselves. Okay, they both, you know, they all, you know, spoke amongst each other, okay, and came to agreements, all right, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen, all right, that's the Assyrians, okay, because they were in the Assyrian captivity at that time, okay, and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt. You see. And what is that further? What is that country that a mankind never dwelt? Okay, because at that time you had what was called map makers. Okay, all right, which we'll get into when we speak about Christopher Colombo. Okay, which the world calls Christopher Columbus. All right, you see, because himself, he was also a map maker. Okay, you see. And you know, during that time, okay, of the these famous map makers, okay, they only discovered 5 continents, okay, at that time. All right, they only discovered 5 continents, okay, all right, which we know today that there are 7 continents, okay, all right. And those other 2 continents that they haven't discovered was the Western unknown world, okay, where man never dwelt, you know, as they say, all right, which is North America and South America, all right. All right, it says, and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt. Okay, so they didn't, nobody lived there. Okay, the Israelites had traveled there, you see, but they had never lived there, you see. Verse 42, it says that they might keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land. All right, what statutes? The law, statutes, and commandments. All right, the commandments, you see, which let you know that they were Israelites. All right. It says, and they entered into Euphrates, all right, the Euphrates River, all right, by the narrow places of the river, all right. For the Most High then showed signs for them, and so like it, and still, so like it, and held still the flood till they were passed over. Okay, and what's that flood? I mean, it's a lot of waters, so the ocean, it pretty much rocks back and forth, ocean waves and et cetera. It pretty much calmed the waters so that they can travel from Assyria through the Euphrates River, okay. All the way, all the way down and around. Well, matter of fact, I got a map here. All right, Salakia, I got a map here. You see. Excuse my handwriting, but that's pretty much where they traveled. If you follow the red arrow there, okay, pretty much dipped underneath the bottom of Africa, around South Africa, what's called South Africa today, and through the South Atlantic Ocean, all right, and touched down on the edge of the eastern edge of South America, all right, and pretty much migrated north. Okay, so I mean that pretty much crushes that that whole FOPE video, because they did travel, the Northern Kingdom, all right, the lost 10 tribes, all right, which they're not lost anymore, at least the elect is not lost, all right, because the truth is out here. Okay, the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai, man, the truth, all right, is out here, man. Whether you believe it or not, whether you hear or forbear, all right? So, that whole, them not traveling, through the Euphrates River to, escape Persian, so like the Syrian captivity, all right? To go to a land where no man has ever dwelt, all right? No man has ever lived, all right? To pretty much keep their customs, all right? Now I can go into, historic artifacts and stones with Paleo Hebrew written on it, and the songs and chants that the northern tribes, all right, the so-called Native and Seminole Indians, all right, kept here in this land once they got here, okay, or at least once Christopher Colombo came over here. The pyramids filled with Hebrew writings on them. And I can go into all of that, but you brothers, that's a whole another lesson. I just really want to just hit these points. So Salakia, okay, but but those things are historical facts that could actually that also back up the fact that these the 10 tribes were here, okay. And they were the lost 10 tribes of the house of Israel. Okay, you see the northern tribes. All right. So, Salakia. Just to get back into the scriptures. Like I said earlier, well, no, let's continue to prove that point with the Euphrates River, okay? Because, like I said, they showed a picture here, showing the Euphrates River pretty much dried up, today, all right? And I just want to, just pretty much crack that as well, wide open, with the fact that, the landmass, today, I have a video here. I looked it up on YouTube, okay? It says, what the hell, Salakia. But, that's what it says. It says, what the hell, Euphrates River dried up, Okay, apocalypse is whatever whatever else it says, but it pretty much says the Euphrates River is dried up. All right, and this is just a article, okay, from the video. All right, I'm gonna play a little bit of the video so that you can see how how full the Euphrates River used to be in the ancient times, okay, versus how it's dried up and pretty much you know pretty much extinct now. I mean, it's still a river, but it's pretty much it's not recognizable. Okay, but the article here says changes in the water quantity, all right, and quality of the Euphrates River are associated with natural aspects of the landscape. Okay, but the point that I wanted to point out, okay, is it says changes in the water quantity and quality of the Euphrates River. Okay, that means that that means the mass of the Euphrates River. Okay, is pretty much narrowing down. Okay, and I'm gonna play a little bit of the video too. Okay. I'm gonna pretty much fast forward it to how the Euphrates River looks today. Okay, it's pretty much this is how it used to look. Okay, this is pretty much how it used to look. Pretty big, man. All right. So I mean, looking at this Euphrates River, okay, and how massive it is. Even though it's a river, but how massive it is. I'm pretty sure you can imagine boats. A lot of boats. With the 10 tribes, with the 10 lost tribes. Okay, the southern, so like the northern kingdom. All right, traveling through this Euphrates River versus today. Okay, so I'm gonna fast forward it. All right, to how it looks today. Okay, I mean, this is how it looks today. You know. I mean, look at that. I mean, they're pretty much walking right in the middle of, or at least on the sides of, where the Euphrates River used to, pretty much cover. It's pretty much dried up now. I mean, look at that. You know, Now, when you look at this picture, you can pretty much see all the boats in the background. All right. Now, I'm pretty sure the boats that the northern tribes, okay, traveled in were a little, much larger than those boats. Okay, but you can see how small those boats are, and they're pretty much, they can't even get really into the water. You see, and that's how much the Euphrates River has dried up. Okay, throughout the course of time. Okay, you see. So I mean that pretty much proves, or adds to the point. Okay, that the 10 tribes. Okay, were indeed able to travel through the Euphrates River at that time. Okay. Now they couldn't travel through there now. Nobody can travel pretty much through there now, but at that time, okay, over the course of time, the land masses and rivers and water, water has risen in certain areas in the world, and water has depleted, okay, in other areas in the world, okay, including the Euphrates River. All right, but I want to get to the second point. All right, that FOPE was trying to make here. What was, or as far as what they believe, that they believe all 12 tribes are Judite, which is BS. All right, I can go into plenty scriptures. All right, but I just want to hit pretty much one point about the lost 10 tribes. Okay, all right, that left to go to the unknown world. Okay, which is here in Americas. Okay, here in the Americas. All right, which is North and South America, and the islands, in Mexico in between, okay, Central America. All right. So let's get into the history of Christopher Columbus. Okay, now like I mentioned earlier, Christopher Columbus was a map maker. Okay. All right. Now there's a lot of there's a false narrative and false story, pretty much celebrated across America, for Christopher Columbus discovering America. But just like just like the brothers say and the elders say, how can you discover a land, all right, that's already pretty much occupied, all right, by a nation of people, okay? You see, so I just wanted to go into that, the fact that King Solomon, all right, King Solomon, all right, was already aware, right? King Solomon and the Israelites were already aware of the Americas. They had already known of this land, okay? And they visited this land, all right? And I'm gonna prove it through the scriptures, all right? This is the book of 1 Kings, chapter 10, verse 22 and 23. Okay, it says, "For the king, all right, King Solomon, had at sea a navy of Tarshish, okay, with the navy of Haram, all right, which is once in 3 years came the navy of Tarshish, okay, bringing gold and silver, ivory and apes and peacocks, all right." So it says once in 3 years, all right, because it took them a year and a half to travel over to the Americas, okay, from where King Solomon was, okay, you see. And when they got here, okay, it took them a year and a half to travel back to bring back the things that they were collected, like the gold, the silver, the ivory, the apes, and the peacocks, and etc. Okay, you see, which equals 3 years. All right, 1.5 or plus 1.5 is 3. Okay, all right, thus lining up with the scriptures. All right, verse 23, it says, "So King Solomon exceeded all the kings of the earth for riches and for wisdom." All right, you see. So this is in history. All right, and in time, this is the reign of King Solomon. This is before the northern the northern tribes. All right, escaped the Assyrian captivity. Okay, to come over here to the Americas. All right, because if you read the scriptures, all right, around this time in history, okay, after King Solomon had passed, okay, the northern and southern tribes, all right, had split up, okay. There was a piece of linen, all right, that was tore up into 12, all right, and 10 was given to the king of Salakia, the king of the Salakia, the northern tribe king, Salakia. Trying to think, Salakia, my mind just went actually blank. But the so-called Puerto Ricans, you know, Salakia, let me think for a second. I just had a brain fart. Salakia, I'll come back to that. But yeah, pretty much, gave 10 pieces of the ripped linen, all right, to the leader and the king, all right, of the northern tribes, all right. You see, and that pretty much, pretty much laid out the split, all right, in the nation of Israel. Okay, all right. The southern tribe and the southern tribes and the northern tribes pretty much split up after King Solomon passed. That's pretty much the point. Okay, so what I'm reading here with King Solomon, all right, coming to the Americas, all right. You see, once every 3 years, all right, one and a half years traveling there, and then 1.5 years traveling back. All right, this was a time where it was before the 10 tribes escaped and ran away from Assyrian captivity, all right, to come over here to the Americas, all right. The Ephraimites, Salakia, the Ephraimites. It just came back to me, okay. The king of Ephraim, all right. The king of Ephraim, Salakia, Akim, and Akwath, all right. Ephraim, all right, and the Ephraimites, the tribe of Ephraim today, all right, are had the proverb and byword placed on them, calling them the so-called Latinos, okay, all right, or the Latinos, Puerto Ricans, whatever you want to call them, but they are the tribe of Ephraim, all right, and yeah, so also that's how we know, like I said, what I'm reading here in First Kings, all right, with King Solomon sending his army over here to the Americas to collect these things of value and bring it back, over to King Solomon's land. Okay, this was before the 10 tribes, all right, came over here. Okay, traveled over here to the Americas to settle, all right, and keep their laws, statutes, and commandments. All right, so that proves that the Israelites already knew of this what they call the the unknown world. Okay, you see, but it was the Western Hemisphere, all right. It was a land, right, where no man dwelt. Okay, no man lived here. Okay, no man called this land home. Okay, you see, so that pretty much crushes that. All right. So, Lord willing, through the Spirit, I'm actually stop it there. Lord willing, through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. You sincere Akim and Akwath were edified through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rekak Wadash. All right. Shalom and a Baba Ball.